Guys, I have something to admit, and I'm not super proud of it, but I always try to be open and honest with you guys. I spent $18.99 on one single soft plastic lure, and it's not even a swim bait.
Oh no!
This is the Hideup Coike. It's a Japanese dice style lure. I've heard a bunch of chatter. I know a bunch of guys who fish like the pro levels as well as the Am Pro levels of these tournament series. And there's a lot of guys talking about it without talking about it, if you know what I mean. So what we're gonna do is this. I live next to the perfect venue to test this bait out, Lake Guntersville, one of the best lakes in the country, but also one of the most pressured lakes in the country. We're gonna put Swimsuit Girl in a bikini, and we're gonna go out there, that way I got a little eye candy, and we're gonna test this thing out to see if all the hype as well as the price tag merit $18.99. So the size that I chose is the 17 millimeter. It's sort of the middle of the road size when it comes to their lineup. The other aspect to this bait is it's made of this elastic style plastic. So there's 2 points with that. One, it's super durable, right? It doesn't tear up like Plastisol. And that's one of the reasons in the Tackle Warehouse reviews that a lot of guys are like, hey, it's really expensive. I think it's too expensive, but it's really expensive, but it lasts. It takes a beating. The other thing it does is it makes it highly buoyant. So it floats up quite a bit. So in picking rigs to test this thing out, I chose 2 that kind of take advantage of that buoyancy. So one, a drop shot, right? Perfect option. 1/4 ounce weight, a little straight shank 2/0 hook. That's the recommended hook size. And then the other one on a bait casting platform. A lot of you guys have told me about a free rig. I've been playing with it this summer. I took a free rig setup. It's got a little arc 5/16 weight and a little 2/0 hook. So perfect options to kind of highlight that buoyancy, but keep that thing pegged on there. So I'm gonna put Swimsuit Girl in a bathing suit. We're gonna head out to the lake and actually see what this thing can do and if it's worth $18.99. So we dropped the boat in, we got our eye candy over there. Travis gets angry. She's like, I'm up here. I'm like, no, you're down here and up here. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go try to find a little pot of fish. It's summer, there's a lot of schools out on ledges offshore, because I wanna see how they behave and how they react to this Coike. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. And see if it values that $18.99 price tag. It looks like we got a few potted up. Oh, there they are. They're suspended and kind of scattered about, but that actually might be a good deal. See how they're kind of like lined up right there? It'll be a good way to kind of test this thing to see if it has drawing power. If they're all schooled up, they're usually pretty easy to catch, but if they're in these little groups like that, groups of 3 in that, you gotta kind of coax them and trick them a little bit. So see what this thing can do. God. There's one. He actually really ate it, dude. That's spotted bass, but it's kind of crunched as it came off, dude. And it's still on there, thank God. I think I'm more afraid of friggin' losing it than catching a fish. Got one. He ate it. He's a big one. He ate the freaking Coike. I'm just kind of dragging it around. It is a large one. I'm so afraid of losing it, dude. That was kind of interesting. I was actually reeling it on the free rig. He actually got it pretty good. That's kind of a cool rig with the open rig. Not a great big one. There's one. That was on the drop shot, actually. Once again, a little spot on a little drop shot. It sinks really, really slow, like super duper slow. Got it right in the snout though. But they ate it and it's still on there. I don't know if I like it though. They won't even eat it. Those are verified bass fishes down there. Verified. I don't care whether you like forward facing sonar or not. There's literally verified bass fishes down there and they will not eat this thing. I can pick up a hover rig and catch them, but those are verified bass fishes. I don't like this thing. F this bait. I am not a fan. So a couple things that I noticed right off the bat, and Swimsuit Girl was a pretty good sport because I got a little cranky at the end there, dude, because I literally saw fish on forward facing and they turned away from this bait. They literally just went away from it. I'd watch it go down to them and they would go away from it. I'd pick up like a hover rig or something and boom, I'd catch one. So it was a little weird. Now, I say all this with a grain of salt. I'm fishing pods of fish on grass lines, on hard spots, on shell bars, and maybe like schools too, to an extent. So what my goal was, or what I was hoping, is that it would be something that was so different, they would just come unglued, right? They would lose. They'd be like, what's that? Let me eat it. Because, fish use their mouth as hands. They don't got hands, right? But I'm wondering, I heard so much hype about this from some of my buddies, and I'm gonna have to go back and talk to them, and from some tournament guys. I'm wondering if maybe it was more of a tool during that pre-spawn, and as well as the spawn. I definitely can see how on a bed, or if you're doing some sight fishing, I really enjoy that. The floatability and the buoyancy, putting it on that drop shot and putting it on a bed and shaking it, the tentacles do crazy stuff. Like, that's another thing I was sad about, dude. It looks awesome in the water. It does this tentacly kind of like dance to it. I guess supposedly the Japanese guys that designed it said it kind of looked like a ball of minnows, right? It's just kind of shaking and dancing. Very cool. But if you guys remember, we did like a Nico rig video back in the winter for kind of suspended fish around docks and structures. And I think maybe that's a situation where it could play. It falls very slowly. Even on that 5/16 and a 1/4 ounce with the drop shot, it has a very slow hover to it. So I'm wondering if during that time of year, maybe when they're on smaller bait or a little tougher to catch in clear water situations, it would play, because it definitely has a unique action. It's very durable. I can 100% attest to it. I rehooked it like, I don't know, 6, 7 different times, because I put different hooks on it. I put it on the drop shot versus the free rig. So it could take like a bunch of like hooks going through it, and it would actually kind of close some of those seams, and it held the hook really well. I was really spooked about throwing it off, and I never had an issue where I thought it was gonna throw off. It really stayed below the barb of the hook, and when you stuck it up on that shank of the hook, it stayed pretty well put. But I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted it to work because it's really unique. I thought it'd be something, they'd see it, it'd be different, and they just lose it, dude. And that wasn't the case. Maybe it's a seasonal thing, but as for now, I ain't spending $18.99, and I'm not a huge fan. I will revisit it come some colder water periods, and maybe as a sight fishing tool, kind of like that last ditch effort when you got some sight fish that you need to trigger and they're just not responding to the stick bait, the creature baits, maybe even a glide bait, and you need just something different that has some high buoyancy in the bed. But overall, we fished for largemouth. We definitely fished for some spots. We caught a couple spotted bass. They didn't like it. Now, I'm 100% open, and I could be totally wrong. So if you guys have tried out this Coike and had a different experience, drop it down in the comments box for me, because I want to know. Like, I'm just going based upon what I saw, and what I saw is no bueno. So if you guys had a different experience, or maybe I kind of approached something wrong, definitely let me know down in the comments box. But we will see you back out here. Hopefully try another bait that catches some fish, and wrangling on a few more, talking some fishing tips. Really appreciate all the support on the channel, my homies. Later.